me, do you get paid twice, you know, for that? I said, no, it just doesn't work that way, unfortunately.
You gotta get him to start renegotiating.
Yeah, no, yeah. Renegotiating and the BBC, those two words just don't go together, you know. They just say, he's lucky he's not getting a pay cut, everyone else is because of the recession, you know.
All right, so we got our first question up here, so step to the mic and give us what you got.
Hello. All right, so the Dalek voice.
Yes.
How much of that was you deciding this is what I want it to sound like, and how much of that was the director saying, no, we need you to deepen up a little bit, we need you to be more raspy, that sort of thing?
Oh, well, when I first came to do the Dalek voice for the TV series, of course, I'd been doing it for the Big Finish audio CDs. How many of you know about the Big Finish? That's not enough, though. Go to bigfinish.com and find out. We've got Doctor Who audio drama with all the Doctors from the 4th Doctor onwards, and we have the Companion Chronicles for the earlier Doctors, where some of the Doctor's great companions tell stories of stuff that happened with them and the Doctor. I can't recommend it highly enough. Anyway, so I started doing the Dalek voices for the Big Finish audio dramas, and of course, I've been watching Doctor Who since the 60s. I'm too young, believe it or not, to have seen it from the very beginning. But I was very aware of the previous Dalek voices. You know, I don't know whether you know, the original Dalek voice was done by Peter Hawkins, and also David Graham as well, who did voices for Thunderbird. I don't know whether any of you heard of Thunderbird. I love it, they should bring that back. And Peter Hawkins was the go-to voiceover man in those days. So they did great work, and Roy Skelton later on, who was brilliant. And Michael Wisher. I'm just going to name names now. So, in a way, I was sort of picking up the torch from them. You know, I already knew that Dalek spoke like that, you know. But we decided to push the envelope a little bit more. And it was Russell T Davies, the executive producer, who said to me, you know, we know you know how to do the classic Dalek, but let's push it a bit further. And so I always use the analogy of, if you think of the entire range of human expression in the voice as being 100%, the Daleks were previously about 10%, and I immodestly feel I've stretched it to 30, you know, and made them as expressive as they can be without, you know, them getting too nice. But with regard to the delivery, the directors are very much, bless them all, they feel that this is an iconic bit of Doctor Who that we don't really want to interfere with. And so it's really, in the early days, was left to Russell making comments. And I think after Dalek, the first one with Christopher Eccleston, the Dalek one, for the second one, the only thing Russell said was faster and nastier. So I think there was something about that first one, there was a lot of slow speaking. Have you seen that one where my favourite scene is the one where, you know, where Rose ends up touching the Dalek, and originally, in the original script, there was some bits of her hand left on him, and they said, that's a bit too nasty. But I think that, not to bore you with too much technical nonsense, there was a problem with the way we did that first episode, is that I was going to activate the lights on the Dalek's head as I spoke by a sort of a trigger thing. So I was going to speak like that, doing this all day. When we found out that this thing near the ring modulator, which does the effects for the voice, just drove it crazy. So instead of sounding like exterminate, it sounded like so it was really quite
less scary when they sound like that.
Yeah, it was really distressing for me because no one on set was really a Doctor Who fan, and they were going, yeah, that sounds great. And I'm going, what do you mean? It sounds really stupid, you know. So I eventually devised this system while I was in the loo. I don't know why I mentioned that, but it just happens to be true.
Well, all the best thinking is done.
Okay? And I suddenly thought, I know, if I get someone else to hold the transmitter and stand a long, long way away from me, and I point to them as I speak like that, you know, then they could do it. And its influence of transmission was far enough away from the ring modulator. We had a lot of no closer, no further, and all that kind of thing. So by necessity, it was a bit slow. So next time round, they sorted out so that the signal from my microphone made the lights flash. I was able to speak a lot faster, because it's quite difficult to speak very fast if you're doing every syllable like that with your arm. I've got a terrible arm ache.